Record. Okay. Hi guys, my name is Peter Okwara from EOS Nairobi. I'm a developer at EOS Nairobi and also do developer relations, in that I go around talking about EOS and what are some of the smart contracts or decentralized applications and also opportunities around EOS. So today I'll be basically talking about three things, which is Node-EOS, ClearOS, and KOSD in relation to the EOS blockchain. And I'll actually do some live coding and see if you can actually run all of them. Try create some accounts and some wallets. So gonna get started now. Okay. So to start with, I'll start talking about Node-EOS. Node-EOS is the software that runs the EOS. So what it does is it's in charge of creating blocks and proving transactions. So this is the software that actually all block producers are required to run within the EOS network. If I can show you list of block producers. So over here you can see list of all the top 21 block producers from number 1 to number 21. You can see right now that EOS Canon is producing blocks, and now it's EOS Dark Server, and it's gonna change at the moment to EOS Fish Rocks. So these top 21 block producers take turns in producing blocks, and the software they run is actually Node-EOS to do that. The backup 21 block producers up to the far end, they are what is known as standby block producers. So in case anyone from the top 21 block producers falls back, a standby comes in and takes over the role of the top 21 block producers. Some things to note is, in order to become one of the top 21 block producers, you actually get voted in the voting process. So actually on this far right, you can see the number of votes these people have, and see the person with the highest number of votes becomes the leading block producer. Becoming a block producer, you get rewards. So like for top 1 to until number 21, you get what is known as voter rewards and block producer rewards. So voter rewards is by virtue of being voted upon, and block producer rewards is by virtue of producing blocks within the EOS network. Another thing to note is over here we have the version number. So this is the version number of what Node-EOS that each of these block producers are running. On this far end side, you can just annotate. Over here we can see number of transactions which you have at the moment. So we have 19 transactions per second, and the highest number of transactions per second you have had is 3,996. Same here, you can see the number of transactions per second we have. Other things to note is that when I scroll down here, let's just have this. When I scroll down here, we can see transactions, then blocks. So over here, these are the transactions that are going into the blockchain. Like for example, you can see over here, there's EOS Pay allowed transaction which is going in. You can also see the number of blocks which are being produced. Right now, we are at this number of blocks, which is around 20,386,282 number of blocks. You can also see the total number of transactions we have had, which is 338,304, and the number continues on and continues on. Yes, so that's the software that the block producers are required to run. So let me just close this and just grab all that and then just close. Yes, so that is Node-EOS. KUSD is required to run the wallet. So in the EOS ecosystem, actually in blockchain, what wallet is something that stores the keys. Basically, that's its role. It just stores keys. It has a password where you can use it to access keys, and you can use it to access information in the blockchain. Then EOS stands for command line EOS. So it's used to run all the commands that you're gonna do in EOS. So in this tutorial, we're gonna use a tutorial which was done by EOS 9cat. It's on smart contract development using Docker. The reason why I'm doing Docker is that setting up manually sometimes is a little bit of stress because of the RAM requirements and heavy requirements. So this will at least make our life easier a bit. Yes. So in order to do this, you need to have Docker and Docker Compose installed. So as for me, already have, so just clear my screen. I already have Docker installed, and I have Docker Compose installed already. Which you can see is gonna load, yes. So first step is I'm gonna create a folder and then copy this file inside, but we'll make a bit of modifications so that it actually works well. So just hold on a bit before we do that. I want to go to participant. Okay, so I'm gonna go into here. I'm gonna run mkdir EOS practice. I'm gonna make a folder called EOS practice. We're just gonna go into it. Here is the folder. Just gonna open it with VS Code. You can open it with your favorite editor. For mine, it's VS Code. So you're gonna wait until it loads. Yes, now it has loaded. We need to create a file inside this folder. And the file is going to be called docker-compose.yaml file. Let me try and zoom so that you can see. Okay, I'll just zoom back a bit, then I'll zoom in. So we're gonna copy this file inside it. Just copy, and then we're gonna paste it here. So I'm gonna edit some things around. Like one of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove anything that says network, because at the time I was trying this tutorial, that brought a bit of a problem. So I'm just gonna remove that, and that. Okay, and then for some reason when I run this, it says that HTTP validate host is an invalid flag. So for now, we're gonna remove it. So I'm just gonna remove that. And we're gonna go here to KUSD, and I'm actually going to remove that part. Let's move this. Sorry about that. Trying to move this around. So just move it there, and just remove this annotation part. Yes, I'm gonna remove over here at KSD HTTP validate host, so that you don't get some errors when you are running. So once we are done with that, I think now I can zoom. I'll share this file in the link in the description. So let me just zoom in to this file. Just there. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna try and open another terminal here. So I'll enter the folder I just created, So the next step is to run both Node.js and KUSD. So how you do that is you run docker-compose app -d. Things to note is, yes, in this YAML file, we have Node.js and instructions on how to run it. We have KUSD and instructions how to run it. So when you run that, it's going to run both of them. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to try run. In this case, I'll have to run with sudo so that I don't get permission errors. So sudo docker compose app -d. -d means if you just run it like this, it means that all the logs will just be printed on top of the screen, but we want the logs to show up on a different side. But I guess we can just run it like that for now. And you press enter, of course, password. So it's gonna start Node.js, it's gonna recreate some of the folders. And once it's done, we're gonna see the logs for Node.js while it runs. Hopefully, yes. So immediately we can see Node.js is running. Okay, this is the first step. That's block production. Yeah. So we're gonna initialize some plugins, set up some URLs and stuff. Then over here you see wallet. Just know that KSD running. Actually, yeah, you see KSD is running, Node.js is running. These are the initial setups. Then from there on, we can see over here, like, we just move this up again. Signed by EOS.io, signed by EOS.io, signed by EOS.io, signed by EOS.io. So EOS.io is a block producer and is producing blocks at the moment. You can see the number of blocks increasing. Where is it? You can see produce block. These are the number of blocks, and they are increasing with time. It just goes on and on. And right now we have EOS.io is producing blocks. And of course, in the EOS network, as I showed you here, let's move this down. It's not one person who's producing blocks. We have several people who are producing blocks, taking turns actually in producing blocks. Like you can see, right now it's EOS Sweden.org, and we have Jeddah. But in our case, in this video tutorial, we have EOS.io who's the one who's producing blocks. So for tutorial purposes, I'll just leave it like that, and I'm just gonna open a new terminal. Yes, and we have it there. So let's just zoom in. Let's zoom in. Oh God. Zoom in just a bit. Yes. So we're gonna go to the next step, next instruction. Yeah, as I said, detach mode, meaning that it won't show the logs immediately, so you have to run something else to show the logs. But we opted not to run in detach mode. This command, it shows you the last 10 logs within the EOS. It actually shows you the last 10. So what does it mean by the last 10? It means that over here, it will just show you the last 10 logs that have been printed out. And you'll see something like this. You can also try and run it. You see what it happens. So what happens? So it's sudo docker logs --tail. Tail is the end. Then you say 10 and say Node.js d. Press enter. Yes. Gonna ask for the password, of course, and it shows you last 10 things that happened. Yes, that seems to work. Okay. If you want to stream the logs, you can simply do that, or you can simply do that. This command is incomplete. So again, Okay, streaming the logs is similar to what you did earlier, like over here. But if you want to, if you're running a separate process like this one, and still want to stream the logs, you just run sudo docker logs, sudo docker logs minus f minus f. Okay, let's say minus f, no dost, no do. I think I should no dos and dost. Yeah, and we get to stream the blocks again, just like we streamed on the other side. Okay. Now we can check if the Node.js is running on the browser. So to do that, we can just copy paste this. This is HTTP localhost 888 version 1 /chain / get info. So when you just copy this and paste it here, it's actually gonna give us info about the server that you're running. So server version is 587.55490. You'll notice over here that we also have version numbers that these servers are running, but in our case, it's this number. We have the chain ID. Chain ID is very important parameter because in EOS, you can run multiple chains. Like you have the EOS network chain, we have the wobbly chain, and we have several others. I think EOS Force is coming up with another chain. So those chains will have several different chain IDs, and to connect with them, you'll have to specify that chain ID within the configuration file, which I just abstracted. You have head block number, last irreversible block number. You have several head producer block, EOSIO, virtual block, CPU minute, and a bunch of other stuff. Another interesting fact is you can get all this information using the EOS HTTP API. So when I go to developers.eos.io and I go to the RPC API, you can run curl request to get info. You just have to make sure the URL is the same. Like in this case, it's 127.0.0.1. So just checking over here, it's localhost 8888. So let's just try, see if it works. Just gonna copy this command, curl command, copy it, then gonna try and paste it here. Yes, and it works. So we can get all the server information from our node, which is actually running right here. It's cool. Yeah, cool. So next step, which you have done that. So we need to set up an alias. So normally running node EOS, you actually have to see Cleos is inside Docker. So when it's outside Docker, when you're outside Docker, it won't actually run. When, like, I'm in this environment, let me just clear. Right now, it will run because I already, okay, right now it won't run because I haven't set up an alias for Cleos. So when I type Cleos, the terminal should tell me that the command Cleos is not found. But the Cleos software is inside the Docker, is inside Docker actually. So if I wanted to run Cleos, I'll have to, inside Docker, I'll actually have to run sudo docker exec -it no dost, I think no dost. Okay, that gives me an error. Just do a shortcut. The command was this. Oh yeah, I have to specify bash somewhere. No dost bash. So once I type that, it brings me up to another terminal which is under root and looks kind of weird. So when I type cleos, it gives me all the commands I can run on cleos. So with cleos, you can fetch data and do a bit of setup. Okay, over here you can see you can get version number, which is the same thing we were doing using the cal command. So when I say cleos version, I think version, sub command required. So sub command required is client. Yeah, it gives us the build version of what we are running. Yeah, what I just did is I just typed clear. I just typed cleos and then version, cleos version. So under version, I can do a sub command where it says client, and it gives me the build version number. So those are some of the things you can do with cleos. Other ones are like wallets and transfer of tokens, sign or push transactions, do multi-sig commands. This in our case, we're gonna create accounts and gonna get some keys and create a wallet. Okay, but we first of all need to create that alias. So what I'm gonna do is exit this command. Then I'm just gonna go back here. So you're gonna copy this alias, but you're gonna change a bit of things. So running this command just like that won't work. You just have to add. Okay, I can even try it right now. Let's see. When I type alias, it registers here. But when I type cleos, it gives me a permission denied. When I say sudo cleos, still won't work. So we need to modify this command slightly a bit so that it can work. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna just clear that. I'm gonna paste this command here, and then in front of docker, I'm gonna add the word sudo. So it's gonna run sudo docker exec -i ksd into that directory, set that and set that. So again, what does this mean? You enter the docker image ksd, cleos command line EOS is stored under this path inside our docker reference. We need, when you're running cleos, you need to reference node.eos. So hence you need to specify the URL in which node.eos is running. So when I say -u, it means -URL. And then --wallet port, -wallet URL means you need to specify what port that KEOSD is running on. So hence we have said --wallet URL, and that's the localhost. I don't know why it always forgets to put a comma at the end, but we're gonna put the comma at the end. Press enter. Then when you type cleos, yes, it's working. So the alias is currently working. Alias, when you type alias, it's here. You have it. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, past that. Okay. So step 2, we're gonna create some account and create some keys. Okay. This is fun. Okay, so just clear cleos. Cleos, these are the commands you get. Then we are looking for create. So you want to create something. When you say cleos create, it's gonna list all the sub commands under cleos create. And over here you can see you can create keys. And that's what you want to do. So when you say cleos create key, we get some output. So we get what is known as a private key and a public key. Okay. So we're gonna try and elaborate on that further. Yes. Clear this first. Clear create key. Yes. So we have two keys. We have a private key and a public key. So the best way to think about this is Okay, like for example, if in Kenya we have M-Pesa. So in order to send money from one person to another, you need the person's phone number. And the person's phone number is the one which identifies you. The same thing in the EOS network. If you want to send tokens to from one person to another, or you want to do a transaction from one person to another, one way is you are identified by what is known as a public key. Yeah, and yeah, that's what uniquely identifies you in the network. And a private key, think of it like, for example, if you have M-Pesa, it's your PIN. So with your PIN, you're able to access your funds, able to send and transfer. Yeah, it gives you permission to access your funds, and you can do sort of things like send and transfer. So that's the same thing as a private key. Your private key should not share your private key on sites or websites or mobile applications. Only trusted sites or mobile applications are the ones which you are advised to use when using a key. An example where keys are used, if I can show you, is like, for example, if you have a wallet, like I have the Meet.one wallet, or any other wallet, they require you to import your keys. Like if I was to create a new account, okay, I don't think this one gives a good example, but I'll try this one. So when you're getting started with wallets, they actually require you to input your private key. So when you're inputting your private key, now you can be able to send and transfer funds within your wallet. So when they say, like, for example, create new wallet, just call it Disco. Just click on next. I think it's taking time. So this is one real life case where wallets are used. I mean, the keys are used. It's taking some time. Okay, I think I'll just continue. I'll show that part later. So we created keys. We have a private key and a public key. As it said, yeah, public key. So next step you're going to do is to create a wallet. So how do you create a wallet? You say create wallet create. Clears wallet create. So back in here, you say clears. Clears, what commands can you do in clears? You can create. So over here you can say create. So clears create. Under create, what can you do? You can create. Oh, sorry. Well, it's clears wallet create. So it's clears, then wallet, clears wallet. So under clears wallet, these are some of the commands you can run. One of them is create a new wallet locally. You can open a wallet, you can lock a wallet, you can lock all wallets, you can unlock, import, remove, create list, all of those, but you are interested in creating a wallet. So clears wallet create. So when you just type clears wallet create, what it does, it creates a default wallet, as it's written here, creating wallet default. Then you have an option of saving a password. So your wallet, normally, sometimes it's locked, sometimes it's unlocked, and the way you're gonna unlock it is using your password. So this comes in very handy when you have to unlock your wallet, because after a certain amount of time, your wallet will automatically close. So I'm just gonna copy this password and just go into VS Code, create a new file, we'll call it default, my passwords. And then in here, I'm just gonna paste it. Alongside it, I'm gonna say default wallet. So then I just save it. So I think to note, once you've created a default wallet, if I try and run it again, it should give me an error because the wallet already exists. So try using a given name. So you can create wallets which have actually different names. So I'm gonna try -n. -n specifically means name. So I'll create one with my name, which is Peter. And yes, we have created a wallet, which is Peter, and that's the password. So I'm just gonna copy this password here, then just paste it here. Let's go at the far end, then Peter wallet. That's the password. Yes, and you can do as many wallets you can. I'll just create one more. I'll call it, let's say David. EOS wallet create -n, David. So yes, and we created a wallet known as David. That's the password. So I just copy this again and then just paste it here. Just go here, David wallet. Yeah. Mosquitoes. Okay. So there are commands like if you want to list the wallet, like let's say I've created all these wallets, but I don't know what wallets or the name of the wallet I've created. So again, under Cleos wallet, you can see the list of the commands you can do. So for example, I want to list, so I'll say Cleos wallet list, and it lists me all the wallets that I have. So we have David, we have default, and we have Peter. Yeah, that's the simple way in how you create a wallet. So again, yes, wallets can be locked and unlocked. Again, over here, you can see the sub command. There's lock and then there's unlock. So I'm gonna try and lock the wallet for David. So to do that is Cleos wallet lock -n to specify the name of the wallet. So and then you say David. Press enter. It says locked David. So how do I know if it's locked or unlocked? When you say Cleos wallet list, shows you all the wallets. And right now, as you have noticed over here, David had an asterisk. Over here, David does not have an asterisk. So when it doesn't have an asterisk, it means this wallet is locked. When it has an asterisk, it means that the wallet, David, is unlocked. So how do you unlock it? Over here, you have the command Cleos wallet unlock -- password, which specifies the password and then the passphrase. So we're going to try Cleos wallet unlock -- password. I hope I don't spell password wrong. Password. Then the passphrase. Passphrase is the one which you copied. Okay, spelling error here. Passphrase is the one which you copied here. Which is David. So you're just gonna click on copy. Just go here and then press paste. When you press enter, okay, it says the wallet is already unlocked. Oh, this series, we didn't specify the name of the wallet. So when they do it like this, we're trying to unlock the default wallet and it's already unlocked. To confirm that Cleos wallet, you can see the default wallet is still unlocked, but the David wallet is still locked. So the thing we're missing is to specify the name. So I just go here, -n, David, and then -password like that. When I press enter, it unlocked David. So Cleos wallet list, it shows that the David wallet is unlocked. Yes. So that's how you create wallet, lock and unlock a wallet. We already talked about listing wallets. Now we're going to talk about importing key pairs. So again, wallets require you. Some wallets require you to have the private key. Actually, all wallets should require you to have a private key which you insert it into the wallet. So in those cases, what the action that you normally do is you actually import a wallet. You import the private keys of a wallet. So a perfect example I can show you. I hope it works. Over my phone over here, this is one wallet that I have. When I click on add and then I say import another account, just add my PIN there. It asks you to paste a private key. So yes, in order to interact with your wallet, your account, you need to import what is known as a private key into wallet. So this is our Android wallet, and importing in the terminal, which is a terminal wallet, basically is EOS wallet import. Okay, when you say type in enter, it says you have to specify the key and you have to specify the name of the wallet you want to import into. So I want to import some keys into the Peter wallet. Okay, but first of all, we need some keys. So EOS create key. Okay, we have those keys. I'll just copy this somewhere. Copy. So we go into just write Peter, and these are the keys he has. Just set them there. Okay. Back here. So EOS wallet import -n for name of the wallet. So Peter wallet, and then we have to specify private key. So how do they do that? I think it was -private -key -private -key. I think it was something like that. Or just, let's see, private key. So just go back here. Let's see if it works. Yes, now it has imported the private key, which is 5KNQ. That private key starts with the number 5, and they're normally specified. Okay, this case specified private key, but they normally start with the number 5. Public keys are start with the number EOS 6. Again, another analogy for public and private key is that imagine this is, if you have a credit card, this is your account number, which just identifies you, and this is your PIN to your credit card. That's another analogy for public and private key. Okay. We can create and import keys to other wallets. So I'll create another key. EOS create key, and I'll say these keys are for David. So as I say, type here David, and these are his keys. Okay, so we're gonna import some keys for David. So it's EOS wallet import -n David, and then we specify the private key, which is this one. Copy. Paste. enter. Over here now it says imported private key for that. Another thing to note is you're going to notice for this private key, the public key will be more or less the same. It says imported private key for EOS 6NTGZ. EOS 6NTGZ. So when you import a private key, the EOS software can identify from the private key, it can derive the public key for the same key pair. Same case for Peter. When you import the private key, the software can work backwards and actually get the public key. As you'll notice over here, EOS 6NTGZV matches this EOS S6. Oh, EOS S6 NT. Does it? Okay, let's see. It doesn't. Oh, I think I was reading for David. NT. It seems I just imported the same. Yeah, I imported the same private key, so the public key will almost be the same. Yeah, the public key will actually be the same in this case scenario. You see EOS 6NT, EOS S6NT, 5HT4, 5HT4, EOS 6NT. Yes, okay. Now for the next step, we have imported keys. Now we need to list the keys that are inside this wallet. So when you run the next command, which I'm going to show you, what it's going to do is going to list the public keys, not the private keys, but the public keys that this wallet have. And in this case scenario, they have the same keys imported. So I'm expecting the same public keys to be shown. So Cleos, when I type Cleos wallet keys, it's going to show me same type of key pairs which have been imported. Okay, one is slightly different. 6NTV. But you have one over here. Okay, I think we'll just continue on with that. Or we could try and import some keys again. Cleos wallet keys. Okay. And to create new keys. Cleos create key. So you have those keys. I'll use these keys for the default wallet. So default. I'll try and have the default wallet with these keys. Then I'm gonna tell the Cleos to import these keys to the default wallet. So when you're importing the default wallet, you don't have to specify the wallet name. You just delete all that. And then I specify the private key. Copy there. Then I go into here. And I paste, then enter. So it has imported. So when I say Cleos wallet list, shows me the wallets, Cleos wallet keys. It shows me the keys that have been imported. So for the one we just imported, it's a public key that starts with EOS 5TS. And over here we have one which starts with EOS 5TS. Okay, that's great. So the next step, we're gonna try and create an account. Account names in EOS are for 12 characters long. They have the words A between A to Z and numbers between 1 to 5. An example of the easiest example of account names are all these. You find that these account names are 12 characters long. And account names are also a way of identifying people within a network. So instead of using a very long public key, the promise of EOS was that you can use an account name which is 12 characters long, which is way easier. Like example, if I'm sending money to someone or tokens or referring someone within a network, it's very easy to reference someone with a 12 character name as opposed to a public key of which you can see over here. It's a really long number and which someone can make mistakes. The account name, you can find out various information about them. So like for example, if I go to blocks.io, I could find out various information about these account names. So if I can just go here, let's say I like to find information about this account. Just copy the info over the account name. Over here you can see it's enter a block, account name or public key. So enter the account name, click on search. It gives me all the information about that account. Yes. I think later on we're gonna dive deep into what an account details is an account name. But for now, you're just gonna do that. I'll use another random example. I'll use this another account name. Yeah, as you can see, they have a public key. Again, paste it here. Get all the information about a given account. Okay, back to the tutorial. So we have done all this. We have imported key pairs. Yes, now we are here. So again, an account normally has two set of key pairs. Those key pairs can be the same or they can be different depending on how you want things to be. So one key pair is known as the owner public key, the other one is known as the active public key. So, and then the other thing to notice is EOS.io has to, in this use case, EOS.io is a block producer within our network. Can go back here. EOS.io is the one who's producing blocks. And so he's the one who can be able to create accounts. So in EOS, accounts work in a form of referral system, in that if I am in EOS and I have tokens, I'm able to create an account for you. Accounts are not created out of thin air. They created in a form of a referral system. Yes. So in this case, you're going to try and create an account. So I'll create an account called Peter. So EOS create account. The person creating an account is EOS.io, and then the account name is Peter. Then you can specify the owner public key and the active public key. So, and then, and the point to note over here, they're saying public key. So in one case scenario, you can have the same owner public key and the same active public key. So how that will work out is that what will happen is we'll have this copied here, then pasted here. So it says, gives me an error. Provided keys, permissions, and delay do not satisfy the declared authorization. Ensure you have the related private keys inside your wallet and your wallet is unlocked. So we're going to try and check what keys. I think the thing is, let's try with David. Let's see if it works. Okay, we still get the same error. We try with this other public key. Okay, we still have a problem. So clears wallet list. Okay, let's try something else. We're gonna copy paste the public key twice. EOS 6NT is EOS 6NT. I'm still having an error. Let's try clears wallet import. Let's end David and then import the that key. Okay. Clears wallet unlock sm David. Unlock the David wallet. Okay, it's already unlocked. So let me try and import these keys to the default wallet. Let's see. Default wallet had a key of EOS 5. So let me try and create an account with that. So still gives me an error. Okay. Yes, that seems to bring in an error. Account. Creator, the name, the owner key, and the active key. Creator, name, creator, the name, owner key, and the active key. So when I try, okay, seems to have a problem. So I think what you can do for now is leave it at that. Then in the next video session, we're gonna find out why the account creation has failed and actually pick up from that. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned a lot from this video.